welcome to Triraj Solution. In today's session, we'll be seeing the topic related to authorization and its security techniques. So in today's topic, let's see what is authorization and different security techniques used for the authorization. So what is authorization? Authorization is the method of figuring out and granting permissions to a demonstrated user or system, specifying what assets they can access and what actions they are allowed to carry out. It comes after authentication and guarantees that the authenticated entity has the proper rights to use certain data, applications, or services. This step is important for implementing protection guidelines and controlling access within the system, thereby stopping unauthorized activities. Let's see an example. Suppose you want to spend the night in an hotel. The first thing you will do is you go to the reception to start the authentication process. After the receptionist has verified who you are given a key card and can go to your room. Think of the key card as the authorization process. The key card will only let you open the doors and elevators you are permitted to access, such as for your hotel room. In cybersecurity terms, authorization determines the level of access an authenticated person has to your data and resources. Let's see now different types of security techniques in authorization. So there are different security techniques that organization use to manage authorization, such as conditional access, least privilege access, lateral movement, zero trust. Let's see individually. What is conditional access? So it involves access with conditions. One way to think about conditional access is with if or then statements. If something is true, you are granted access. But if it is false, you are denied. So example, working in an IT scenario, people who are working from home, they might be using their personal computer to access work-related content. But with some conditional access, an organization might grant access for an authenticated user to a confidential system, such as payroll, only if it is made through secure corporate computers located at their headquarters. If the authenticator user tries to access the payroll system from a personal computer at home, they would be blocked. Let's see what is least privileged access. The concept of least privilege is where a user is granted the minimum rights that they require. It applies in any security related setting. For example, when you board an aeroplane, you have access to the main cabin area to get through your seat. But no passenger is allowed into the cockpit. Also, if you are traveling with a coach class ticket, you will only have access to that section. To improve security, each person can only have access the areas they need to. Let's see another example where users have access to a public folder on a network. If they only need to read a file, they should be given specific permission. So by implementing the least privileged access, you will reduce an attacker's action if a breach occurs. Let's see what is lateral movement. If an attacker gains access to the system, they might use the compromised account to gather more information. This could be used to infiltrate other systems or gain elevated access. The attacker can move through the systems, finding more resources until their target is reached, because the attacker will attempt to move between different sections. The final attack is unlikely to come from the initial compromised account. For example, many office buildings require a security code to access the floors where the executive team is located. All office on those floors are kept logged, allowing access only by employees with a special card. You clearly don't want a criminal to access your building at all. But by assuming a breach might occur and adding additional layers of security to protect against this type of lateral movement can limit the damage. For example, you start with secure authentication to reduce the chance of an attacker accessing your systems. So no system is foolproof, but you can provide added layer of security. These measures will help mitigate the chance that an attacker who breaks into your system can access more sensitive resources through lateral movement. Let's see the other type of security technique, zero trust. So zero trust is a model that enables organization to provide secure access to their resources by teaching us never trust, always verify. It is based on three principles. One is verify explicitly, use least privileged access, assume breach. What is verify explicitly? With zero trust, every request is fully authenticated and authorized before any access is granted. So organization may implement both multi-factor authentication and conditional access to ensure that every request is verified explicitly. Let's see what is least privilege access. The concept of least privilege is to only authorize a user with the minimum rights that they require. This limits the damage that a user can do and limits lateral flow. Let's talk about what is assume breach. By assuming that a breach has or will occur, an organization can better plan for additional layer of security. This minimizes an attacker's radius for breaches and prevents lateral movement. Thank you all.